there, and thank you so much for joining me today. Now, if you ever owned the MiniFreak, one of the cool things about it was that every now and then you'd get a new update, more engines, more effects, and it seems that Arturia are going to continue that tradition with the MiniFreak, because it was only like 5 months ago that we got the last firmware update, and now we're on firmware 4.0, where we get the new VOCODER, which is a very fun effect that I know lots of people are going to love, because we loved it back then on the Micro. In this video, I just want to fool around with it a bit, have some fun, and see what it can do. Now, just for transparency's sake, Arturia did not sponsor this video, but they did send me the firmware update a few days before so I could try things out. Today's video does have a sponsor though, and that's the good folks at Analog Cases. If you're already a subscriber, huge welcome back, my friend. This is your first time here.
Hi, welcome to the Midlight Synthesis. Let's get started.
So one of the cool things about this new vocoder is that it has two modes. One is self vocoder and the other is external vocoder. External vocoder, as you might imagine, requires an external mic or an external sound source. You can use another synth if you want to, and it'll process that external signal through that synth patch that you're already playing. So let's go look at some of the new patches available. 00 vocoder, which I imagine is 2000s. One of the very weird things about a vocoder is that you have to forget what you're singing and just kind of do the words and follow the keys, which as a vocalist kind of gets confusing. Oh, by the way, when I first started using this, I noticed that I was clipping a lot. So if you run into that problem, or maybe you feel that your mic is too low, you can go into the utility, select audio, input mode, and you can go for mic if you're using one of these, or line if you're using a synth, for example. I'll leave it on mic. And you can adjust the input gain. You can have it all the way up to 12 dB. I had mine at 6 dB, so it's clipping a lot. And all the way down to minus 12 dB. Now, both the external and self vocoder have 4 modes. First, you have clean, which is kind of the most hi-fi and exact one. It's mostly focused on being clear and intelligible. So cool. The next is the vintage mode. And in the vintage mode, it's meant to replicate older lo-fi machines used in the 70s and the 80s. So what is this? I don't have enough lyrics for this song. I'm very, very sorry. Another important thing to note is that you can use this either as a single melodic line, or you can harmonize and harmonize. Again, if you're a vocalist, you're going to struggle sometimes not singing the notes that you're trying to do on the synth. You have to get used to it.
Ever wonder how and where I store all of my gear on the channel when it's not on my desk? Well, I keep it all safely stacked and protected from dust and my toddlers with Analog Cases. Analog Cases makes custom cases for most popular synths and group boxes, as well as desktop stands, performance stands, and my favorite, the TrackPack Backpack, which can easily fit an Ableton Push 3 or an MPC Live 2, and was voted this year's most comfortable backpack to sleep in by Bruno, my ferret. Use my affiliate link in the description to get a discount on your next purchase.
Then you have narrow. And narrow is going to pump up the resonance so you can get these very, very metallic and sharp sounds. Pretty cool for sound design. Finally, you have gated, and in gated, you get plucky sounds, droplet sounds, very interesting, strange sounds. Personally, I like the clean vocoder the best, and this will be a good way to explore what the parameters can do, because you got 3 parameters to tweak the effect. So now I'm going to go here, and first you have decay. Now decay, that's a very long decay and a very short decay. This, as you can imagine, just tells you how long it's going to take for the processed sound, processed vocal, to just fade away. Then we have the formant. This is a very high formant, and this is a very low formant. It's basically a frequency shifter of whatever you're putting in there. And finally, you have a dry, wet signal. It's called direct. So now you can hear more of my voice if I stop playing the keys. And if I play the keys, then it's a mix. And if I go full wet then there's nothing there except when I play the keys. Now, the other kind of vocoder is the self-vocoder. And this will basically grab the patch that you're using, and it'll be kind of like a frequency filter effect. So I'm going to grab this Crusty Pluck, which is a preset I adore, and I'm going to change the phaser in my filter section for the vocoder self. And we're going to play around with the spectrum. That's just begging an LFO right there. The formant, we can get those vowel-y sounds. And of course, the dry wet signal. Let's try it out with a funky bass. So I just assigned LFO 1 to the time, and you get this. All in all, I think this is a very, very cool addition to the already massive feature set that this thing has, and hats off to Arturia once again for keeping their customers happy with gear that they bought probably years ago. Hopefully they keep on going. If you're still here and you enjoyed this content, just remember you can always support my channel, the things I do here, with something as simple as a like, or leaving me a comment saying you want more of this type of content, or maybe using an affiliate link of mine to buy your own gear. Everything and anything is always appreciated. If you're interested in seeing my overview of the previous update where they introduced the granular engines, you might want to check out this video right here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful, or at least entertaining. Have a great week. See you next time.